So I'm looking at this Riyadh season card, Beterbiev versus Bivol 2. They called it the last crescendo, but it can't be the last crescendo if Bivol wins. Because if Bivol wins, then there has to be a rubber match. That's my opinion, because now it's 1-1. But when I'm looking at this card, it's stacked. It's stacked crazy. From the first fight on the card right up until the main event. The first fight being Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith. Now, I see Callum Smith fight the other day on some card, and I'm thinking, what's Callum Smith up to? Like, Callum Smith's still boxing. That's a good look. I like Callum Smith, but you know what I mean? He's done his bit, but he's still here. So I'm thinking, Wagwan. Obviously, he was getting built up to fight Joshua Buatsi at this Riyadh card. That's fine. That's a beautiful fight for me. Joshua Buatsi, it's about time you fought somebody who I think you need to be fighting to move on to the upper echelons. And this is a nice little gateway fight. If you beat Callum Smith, then maybe you're ready for the upper echelons. But you need to get through Callum Smith first. Then you've got Zhilei Zhang versus Ajit Kabayel. Now this fight was going to be Martin Bakole and Zhilei Zhang. Then it was going to be Martin Bakole and Kabayel. But now it's not Martin Bakole versus any of them. It's them two versus each other. This is a very, very intriguing fight because I see Zhilei Zhang as carrying a lot of power but not having the gas tank to take him right through to the end with the maximum power. And Ajit Kabayel, he's very much an unknown entity, but he has been winning fights on these Riyadh season cards. I first saw Ajit Kabayel when he fought Derek Chisora and beat Derek Chisora. And since he beat Derek Chisora, he's been having one fight a year in his native Germany. I think he's Turkish, but he's based in Germany. That's just me guessing. And he's had one fight a year ever since. But in 2023, he got offered a second fight for that year against Aslanbek Makhmadov on the Riyadh season card where Beterbiev and Lindenhofer headlined. And I thought Aslanbek's going to hurt this guy. Because I know about Aslanbek, I'm going to hurt this guy. Now, I've been watching Aslanbek Makhmadov thinking, yo, this guy's a destroyer. But Kabayel took out Aslanbek in 4 rounds. I was really surprised with that. I was like, yo, Kabayel might be that guy. So the Sheik said, okay, cool. You're smacking up man like that. All right, cool. Here's Frank Sanchez. Let's see how you deal with Frank Sanchez. Takes him out in 7 rounds. So for me, he's proven his legitimacy. And the Sheik has taken to him and said, yo, this guy can do a job. Let's see how he does against Zhilei Zhang now. So for me, I believe that he's going to beat Zhilei Zhang. But that's another story. I'm not going to do predictions today. I'm just talking about the card in itself. So anyway, that's the second fight on the card, that big heavyweight matchup. And I'm thinking, yo, this guy ain't ramping with putting cards on. Then you've got Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. Now, Virgil Ortiz apparently made an offer to fight Boots Ennis, saying come up to 154 because Boots himself said he needs to go up to 154. That's a separate video that I'm going to do in itself as well, because Boots put his foot in his mouth and said some stuff that he didn't need to say because now it seems like he's staying at 147. That's another story in itself. Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Madrimov. Israel Madrimov, who lost gallantly to Terence Bud Crawford the other day. Boy, Virgil thinks that he can do the same thing and even a better job. So we're going to see what happens there. WBC champion Carlos Adames, middleweight WBC champion, is taking on his mandatory Hamza Shiraz. Was Hamza going to fight Yanibek Adam Kanulai or Carlos Adames? Now we know who he's fighting. He's fighting Carlos Adames for the WBC title. That's another good fight. And then you've got Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield. This one came out of left field. I can't believe that Floyd Schofield is taking this fight right now. It's too early for him, but he's an action fighter. He's a boxer puncher. At the same time, this is the style that Shakur Stevenson fits. But we'll talk about that as well in another video. We're just talking about the card right now. And then the co-main event, IBF heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois against Joseph Parker. This is a good fight as well. Okay? And then the main event is Beterbiev versus Bivol 2. Stacked. This card Every single one of these fights could be its own headline fight. Maybe Joshua Buatsi versus Callum Smith, maybe not. But yes, that could also be its own headline fight, to be fair to you. So I'm saying this is a big boy card. This is crazy. This card's mad. I can't even lie, this card's mad. Yeah? It's heavy duty. And you can see all of the promoters that are involved. Boxer, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Queensberry, Gold Star, Seller, PBC, Matchroom. Everybody's involved. Even that Japanese promotional company, they're all involved. Everyone's involved. It's big. Sheik Sheik don't stop bringing all these promoters together to make these big, humongous cards. And obviously, everyone needs to get paid. And obviously, he's shelling. He's just shelling out the change. Like, here you go. Boom, boom, boom. What you want? What? You want 3 million? You want 5 million? You want 10 million? You want 10 million? Here you go. Boop, 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 boop. Shelling. This guy's just shelling out cash to these guys. And these promoters don't have to do nothing but sit back and collect, because they will get a percentage of their boxers' purse. So whatever boxer they've got on the card, if they've got 2, 3, 4 boxers on the card, they're going to get 2, 3, 4 percentages of man's wages. So the promoters are laughing, they're happy. This is the best time for these boxers ever in their whole life. They can't believe they're getting paid like this. Then the other day, I think it was yesterday, I get up and I look in my Twitter feed and I seen the people them cussing off this card. In particular, this one guy called Ray Jackson. He's put up the card on his page and said, boycott. Straight across the card, big red letters, boycott. And he's wrote, Turki Sheik is trying to take over boxing. We as boxing fans can't let this happen. Let's stand together and do the right thing and keep the fights in the US. 100%. I'm like, huh? When you go onto his page, he's even got it as his header. Boycott the fight. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with these American donnies? Them man are saying boycott the fight and keep the fights in the US. Last time I checked, you man in the US ain't making fights happen. I repeat, last time I checked, you man in the US ain't making fights happen. Case in point, Tank and Shakur.
For what? Like, okay. Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing.
You don't think he's better than any of the guys you face?
Looking more better than him. Who that? Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this.
So you would rather
keep screaming this name? He haven't done nothing.
You rather fight
Keyshawn? Haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those that you might be afraid? So what do you say to those who might be saying that, you know, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of somebody, it gotta be somebody hitting us and hurting us. Like, he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. Shit don't win in boxing.
They're never gonna fight. Tank and anybody in America, they're never gonna fight. Anybody that you want Tank to fight in America, he ain't fighting them. I'll go back to Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. Back then. Them two were supposed to fight for about 100 years. That fight never happened, and it will never happen, obviously. Then, man, they retired before that fight happened. I remember Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez before Canelo even came up to that weight class. Then, man, they were supposed to fight. But they were saying, no, we don't want to make that fight now. We need to make it marinate. We need to make it build. You both lost the belt. Caleb Plant losing it to Canelo. Benavidez just losing it on the scales. And then when you lot have lost the belts, now you want to make the fight. You want to make the fight then, when no one even cared about it anymore. Floyd and Pacquiao. You lot waited 7 years to make that fight. Who wants to wait 7 years for a fight to happen? The Sheik says, I want to see these fights now. You're talking about boycott. How can you be a boxing fan if you're looking at this card and saying boycott the card? That's dumb. Keep fights in America. In America, you lot ain't making no fights. Look at Tank. Tank's going around with this Lamont Roach guy. I respect Lamont Roach. You're a don Lamont Roach. But guess what? You're smaller than Tank. And Tank's itty-bitty himself. And he's talking about he's going to retire. I'm going to talk about that in another video. But who asked for Tank to fight Lamont Roach? Who asked Tank to get somebody from a lower weight class, bring him up to his weight class and fight him? Who asked for that? I need to know, because nobody did. And it was supposed to happen this year. It got cancelled. And the rumours were that there was no one buying tickets for the fight, so they had to move it to another date further down the line so they could do a press tour of America to try sell it, which is what they're doing right now. They're touring America with press conferences of this dead fight, which I don't understand, because if that was the case, why didn't they make him or make a fight with Tank and somebody else? Someone more notable, someone more reputable, like Shakur Stevenson. Why we got Shakur Stevenson fighting Floyd Schofield? Because the William Cepeda fight broke down. Because William Cepeda is pretending to have some injury that he can't make the fight for. Well, I'm saying pretending. I don't care. I don't believe William Cepeda's injury. And I think that good old Oscar De La Hoya is keeping William Cepeda away from Shakur Stevenson, even though I believe that William Cepeda has the style to beat a Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, Oscar doesn't believe the same thing. And there's your countryman again, Ray Jackson, stopping an American fight again. Ray Jackson. Shut your mouth, rude boy, Mr. Twitter finger chat rubbish Donny. So he's pulled him out of that fight. So why couldn't Tank now go and say, okay, Shakur, you ain't got to fight. Come, let's me and you fight. Because Tank's saying stuff like,
for what? Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport?
he don't deserve to fight. Who he has fought? Who he had fought? Who he had fought? So he do deserve a fight. He ain't strong. He ain't got no strength. He ain't strong. That boy weak. I'll mess him up. Well, I don't care what you're saying. Show me, bro. Show me. Everybody's saying fight Shakur, fight Shakur. You're saying, why? Why am I fight Shakur? I'm going to retire next year anyway. Hopefully, I can get that Ryan Garcia fight again, because that's the only fight that can make me some money. And I'll make that money, I'm out of here. Joke thing. So, you man talking about boycotting fights. You American man are salty, Ray boy. You personally, American Donnies, yeah? And I'm not even talking about whole America. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about black America. Because when Floyd was making his money, you man weren't buying Floyd's fights. You man were not buying it. It was the Mexican Donnies, yeah, and white America that were buying them fights. That's why he was doing 4 million, 2 million, 3 million, 1 million pay-per-view buys. Not because of black America. Black America don't buy nothing. Nothing. You lot want to sidestep, you want to, what's the thing you lot got, the fire stick, yeah? Your own boy Errol Spence Jr. told Crawford he got a fire stick. I don't buy fights, he said to Crawford. I don't buy fights. I got the fire stick, bruh. That's what he said to him. So if your own Donny, yeah, has the fire stick, where's that from? That's learned behavior. That's the whole of you lot's community. All you lot do is teeth fights. That's why Tank, if he don't fight Ryan Garcia, he ain't selling over 250k in pay-per-views. But you got man spending £90. You're telling man to spend $90 on you lot's pay-per-views. And then you're saying keep the fights in America. Why? No one ain't fighting out there anyway. And if the Sheik ain't putting on the fights, no one ain't fighting anyway. It's only because the Sheik's giving man buku money. I mean, how many of these fights are American fights anyway? Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Schofield, that's one. Virgil Ortiz, because he's fighting Madrimov, that's not necessarily an American fight. Anyhow. What are we talking about? Keep what in America? Better be Evan Bivol, none of them are from America. Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois, none of them are from America. Carlos Adames, Hamza Shiraz, none of them are from America. Yeah? Zide Zhang, Ajit Caballo. You man don't even know these guys. You man don't even know these guys. You only know your man then. That's all you know is your American boxers. You don't know these guys. Yeah? You don't know Joshua Buatsi and Callum Smith. You don't know these guys. So what are you talking about? You lot are haters. Straight haters. And furthermore, you lot don't do nothing for boxing. You lot can go away. That's why HBO's left boxing. That's why Showtime's left boxing. That's why Fox left boxing. And that's why ESPN look like them I leave boxing. That's why Oscar De La Hoya took his promotional company and brought it to the zone. That's why, because you lot don't even invest in boxing, but you're saying keep boxing in the US. There is no boxing in the US. Boxing is dead in the US. You ain't got no stars. Tank is your biggest star. That's it. Crawford is a don, but that's why he's gone to the Sheik. Because the Sheik said, you're a don. I need you over here. Come over here. Forget them man over there. Come over here and I'll sort you out, bro. Yeah? You make money with me. Don't worry. Yeah? That's why Crawford is over with the Sheik and them man there. That's why Shakur's over with the Sheik and them man there. Yeah? Keyshawn soon come over there. You understand? Most of your American Donnies are signing with Eddie now, even. And if they're signed to Oscar, they're with the Sheik. Because Oscar is using the Sheik's money as well. Yeah? So you lot can be hating a little more. But guess what? Boxing ain't going back to America anytime soon. As much as I love boxing coming from America, that's how I grew. I grew up watching boxing, and the best boxing was coming from America. The Don King days and Bob Arum days. But this ain't the 80s and the 90s anymore, man. This ain't 80s, this ain't 90s, this ain't early 2000s. Times have changed. Floyd has retired, and everybody wants to be Floyd. But no one can be Floyd because they're not willing to be Pretty Boy. They want to be Money Mayweather. They don't want to be Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd made sure that Money Mayweather made peace. But you lot don't know the blueprint. And Floyd ain't showing you the blueprint. That's why Tank's talking about retirement, because he's bored. Because he ain't getting the right fights. But he don't even care to have the right fights anyway because he's spoiled. This is why boxing getting on my nerves. And I'm glad for the Sheik to come and do what he's doing. And I hope, that if by a sudden chance that this illness that he has takes over, then I hope that he's put in plans a conglomerate of guys over there that will continue his legacy, continue what he started. Yeah? And I'm saying to you, mind for Eddie Hearn, you know. Mind for Eddie Hearn and the fact that he's going to take over this boxing thing from top to bottom. Mark my words. May I tell her no? Remember, I told you this. What is the date today? The 6th of December. Remember, 2024, 6th of December. Remember, Boxwatch.Tv. Tell her no. So Eddie Hearn is soon due to take over this thing. So, I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to this card. And I'm going to break down each fight and do a prediction for each fight because they all are worthy of that. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.